Boys and girls, let's continue talking about writing today. Have you ever noticed in your writing that sometimes it is difficult to read? Authors want people to read what they've written. It has to be legible. One thing that's really important is spacing. When we have spaces between our words, it makes it easier for other people to read our writing. When I write, I need to think about sounds, and I need to be sure my reader knows which sounds or letters go together in one word. These sounds and letters need to be close together, but my reader needs to know where my word ends and a new word begins. I show them this by putting space between my words. Look at these two sentences I have written on the paper. Number one sentence, number two sentence here. Look at these very carefully. Think about, how are these sentences different? Think about that for a minute. How are they different? Is one of these sentences easier to read? Yes, this top sentence is easier to read. Why is this sentence easier to read? Yes, you're right, because it has spaces between the words. This one is hard to read because it doesn't have any spaces between the words. This top one is much easier to read because it has a space between the words. The sentence says, I like to jump in leaves. That's one sentence. Notice how after every word there is a finger space. I can put my finger down between each space. This one just looks like one big huge word. It would be hard to read. It needs a space between each word to be able to read it good. I'm going to write another sentence and watch how I write this sentence, okay? And I'm writing about myself first. I love, okay, notice, put my finger down, two, finger space, go, finger space, swimming. Look at that. I put a space in between each word so that my writing would be easier to read. Okay, I'm going to write one more sentence. And I bet you can read this sentence. I, finger space, love, finger space, my, finger space, school, finger space, shoes. And guess what I'm going to put? Excitement mark. Who said, I love my school shoes? Pete the cat. Notice how easy it was to read because there was a finger space between each word. Now, I'm going to get my blue folder. I'm going to go open up my blue folder, and where the green dot is, that is one I'm working on. One I started yesterday, I'm going to get that back out. I'm going to add to my story from yesterday. The first thing I'm going to do is reread my story. I had a birthday party. Amber and Connor made me a pecan pie cheesecake. Do you notice how easy that was to read? Because I put a finger space between each of my words. I'm going to continue writing today. Okay, I want to add to this today. So I'm going to finger space because they made me one. And now I'm going to tell what I did. Okay, I, finger space, made, aid. And since I don't have any more room here, I'm going to the next line. A, finger space, wish, finger space, and finger space, blue, blah, ooh, finger space, out. I know O-U says ow, out. Okay, I'm not going to have much room right there to write another word, so I'm going to go to the next line. My, finger space, candles, C-and-les, candles. Isn't that easy to read since I put a finger space between each word? Now what I want you to do is go get your blue folder, get out the piece that you started yesterday that should be on the green section, and I want you to add to it. If you need to add to the sketches, you can. You can add to the words, but I want you to be very, very careful today and make sure you finger space between your words. That's what you're really paying very careful attention to today. Okay? Go get busy on that writing.